If you were married for at least 10 years and you are now divorced, Social Security has a benefit with your name on it, and most divorced women have never been told it exists. Not because they do not qualify, not because they did anything wrong, but because nobody sat them down and explained that your ex-husband's work record, the years he paid into Social Security while you were married, those years can count toward your retirement income too. Even if he is remarried, even if he does not know you are claiming, even if you have not spoken in 20 years. Now, this does not automatically make you rich, and it does not work for everyone. But for a significant number of divorced women watching this, women who raised children, who worked part-time, who sacrificed career years for family, this benefit can add hundreds of dollars a month to your retirement income. In this video, I'm going to explain exactly how it works, who qualifies, how much you can actually expect to receive, and the one situation where the benefit gets even bigger that almost nobody talks about. Stay with me through the whole video because that last part is the most important thing I will tell you today. How this benefit works, the real rule. Let me start with the foundation because there's a lot of confusion about this benefit and I want to make sure you have the accurate picture. When you worked and paid into Social Security, you built up your own retirement benefit. Social Security calls this your primary insurance amount, your PIA. That is the baseline monthly check you are entitled to at your full retirement age. Now, if you were married for at least 10 years, Social Security also calculates a divorced spouse benefit based on your ex-husband's work record. This divorced spouse benefit is worth up to 50% of what your ex is entitled to at his full retirement age. Here's how Social Security handles it in 2026. They look at two numbers: your own retirement benefit, based on your own work record, and the divorced spouse benefit, based on 50% of your ex's record. They pay you whichever one is higher, not both, the higher one. Let me put real numbers on this so it's clear. Say your own Social Security retirement benefit at your full retirement age is $900 a month. Your ex-husband's benefit at his full retirement age is $2,400 a month. 50% of $2,400 is $1,200. Since $1,200 is higher than your $900, Social Security pays you $1,200. That's $300 more per month than you would have received on your own record alone. Over 1 year, that's $3,600 extra. Over 20 years of retirement, that's $72,000 that was available to you the entire time. Now, what if your own benefit is already higher than 50% of your ex's? Then the divorced spouse benefit does not add anything, and you simply collect your own benefit. Social Security is always going to give you the better number. This is not a trick. It is not a loophole. It is a benefit written into the Social Security Act specifically to protect people, mostly women, who spent years in a marriage and built their retirement around a shared financial life that later ended. That is the basic rule, but now let me tell you about the part that trips people up and the part that SSA will not volunteer to explain. The 5 eligibility rules. Check all of these. There are 5 eligibility rules for the divorced spouse benefit. Go through each one. Rule 1. You were married for at least 10 years. This means 10 continuous years of legal marriage, not living together, not a common law arrangement, an official marriage that lasted at least a decade before the divorce was finalized. If your marriage was 9 years and 11 months, you do not qualify. This rule has no flexibility, which is why some divorce attorneys advise clients who are close to that 10-year mark to pause before finalizing the divorce. 1 more month can mean thousands of dollars over a lifetime. Rule 2. You are currently unmarried. If you remarried after your divorce, you generally cannot claim on your ex's record while that second marriage is active. If that second marriage later ends in divorce or death, your eligibility may be restored. But as long as you are in a current marriage, this benefit is not available. Rule 3. You are at least 62 years old. You cannot claim a divorced spouse benefit before age 62. If you claim before your full retirement age, which is 67 for most people reading this, your benefit will be permanently reduced, just like your own retirement benefit would be. Rule 4. Your ex-spouse is eligible for Social Security. Your ex needs to have worked enough to qualify for Social Security benefits. In most cases, this is straightforward. If he worked a regular job for most of his life, he qualifies. One important rule here: if you have been divorced for at least 2 years, you can claim your divorced spouse benefit even if your ex has not started collecting yet. You do not need to wait for him to file. If you have been divorced for less than 2 years, he needs to already be collecting before you can claim. Rule 5. Your divorced spouse benefit must be higher than your own. As I explained, Social Security compares the two numbers and pays the higher. If your own benefit is already higher than 50% of your ex's, the divorced spouse benefit adds nothing extra. You simply collect your own. The benefit is most valuable for women who had lower lifetime earnings, who worked part-time, took years off to raise children, or worked in lower wage careers, while their ex-husband had a longer, higher-earning work history. The strategy most people miss: timing your claim. Now, here is the part of this benefit that most people never hear about, and it requires thinking about your situation carefully. We know Social Security pays you the higher of your own benefit or the divorced spouse benefit, but there is a timing element that can significantly affect which one ends up being higher. Your own retirement benefit grows every year you delay claiming, up to age 70. Specifically, it grows by about 8% per year after your full retirement age. The divorced spouse benefit does not grow after your full retirement age. So here's a situation where the strategy matters. Say your own benefit at full retirement age is $1,100. Your divorced spouse benefit is $1,200. If you claim at full retirement age, you get $1,200, the divorced spouse benefit. But if you delay your own benefit to age 70, it grows by 32%. Your own benefit becomes $1,452. Now, your own benefit is higher, and it is higher for life. The question is, can you afford to wait? Do you have other income to cover the gap? How is your health? These are questions only you can answer. But the point is, do not assume the divorced spouse benefit is always the best path. Run both numbers first. There's one more situation I need to tell you about, and this is the one I promised at the beginning. It involves what happens if your ex-spouse passes away. The survivor benefit, the bigger opportunity. While your ex-spouse is alive, the most you can receive as a divorced spouse is 50% of what he was receiving. At the time of his death, everything changes. As a divorced surviving spouse, you may be entitled to receive up to 100% of what he was receiving at the time of his death, including any delayed retirement credits he earned by waiting to claim. 100%, not 50%. And the rules are slightly different for survivor benefits. You can claim a divorced survivor benefit as early as age 60, 2 years earlier than the regular divorced spouse benefit. If you remarried after age 60, that remarriage does not affect your eligibility for the survivor benefit. This surprises many people. Remarrying before age 60 would disqualify you, but after 60, you keep the right to claim. The 10-year marriage requirement still applies, and multiple ex-spouses can claim on the same deceased worker's record simultaneously without reducing anyone else's payment. If your ex was married multiple times, his second or third wife claiming survivor benefits does not take anything away from what you receive. Here's why this matters for planning. If your ex-husband is older than you or in poor health, the survivor benefit may eventually be worth significantly more than the divorced spouse benefit you could claim today. Some women in this situation choose to delay claiming the divorced spouse benefit and instead claim their own reduced benefit first, specifically to preserve the option of switching to the larger survivor benefit later. This is a strategy. It requires thought, and it is exactly the kind of planning most people never do because nobody told them this benefit existed in the first place. Here are the steps. Step 1. Check your own estimated benefit at ssa.gov. Create a free My Social Security account if you do not have one. Look at your estimated benefit at 62, at your full retirement age, and at 70. Write those numbers down. Step 2. Estimate 50% of your ex's benefit. You may not know your ex's exact benefit, but if you have a rough idea of his career and earnings, you can estimate. If his benefit at full retirement age would be around $2,200, your divorced spouse benefit would be around $1,100. Compare that to your own numbers from Step 1. Step 3. Call SSA to get the actual numbers. The number is 1-800-772-1213, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern. Ask specifically, I am a divorced spouse. I was married for over 10 years. Can you tell me what my divorced spouse benefit would be on my ex-husband's record? You will need your ex-spouse's name, date of birth, and social security number if you have it, though SSA can sometimes locate his record without the number. Step 4. Apply when the time is right. For divorced spouse benefits, you can apply online at ssa.gov/apply or by phone. For survivor benefits, if your ex has passed away, you must apply by phone or in person. Survivor benefits cannot be applied for online. Your ex will not be notified. His current family will not be affected. This is entirely between you and Social Security. Let me bring this together. If you were married for at least 10 years and are now divorced, Social Security has a benefit available to you based on your ex-spouse's work record. While your ex is alive, that benefit is worth up to 50% of his full retirement benefit. Social Security pays you the higher of that amount or your own benefit, whichever serves you better. If your ex has passed away, that benefit can be worth up to 100% of what he was receiving, and you can claim it as early as age 60. Your ex does not need to know. His current spouse is not affected. His benefit is not reduced. None of what I described today is a trick or a loophole. It is a benefit you are legally entitled to that was designed specifically to protect people who built a life inside a marriage and then had to rebuild outside of it. The only thing standing between you and this benefit is knowing it exists and making the call. Now you know it exists. If you have a question about your specific situation, drop it in the comments. I read every one, and I will do my best to point you in the right direction. The next video, right here, covers what happens to your Social Security benefits when your ex-spouse passes away, and the exact survivor benefit strategy that most divorced women never use. Watch that one next. I will see you there.